Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning we're going to start with the water and weather, and after that we have some trail chatter, like some rescues, and then I got some stuff going on over here that I was reading. Man, it's interesting. But let's start off with the water and weather, and after we'll do some trail chatter. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Donald.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Right now in Blairsville, it is 69 degrees and foggy. We're looking at a high of 88 degrees today with cloudy skies this morning, followed by scattered showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. The winds will be light and variable, and there is a 60% chance of rain. Tonight, 66 degrees with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible throughout the evening, partly cloudy skies, then considerable cloudiness overnight, and some fog after midnight. Winds light and variable. Up on Blood Mountain today, we're looking at a high of 79 degrees, dropping to 73 later on this afternoon. There is a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, and then there is some patchy fog before 9 a.m. So if you're going anywhere, just practice extra caution, hiking, driving, no matter what it is you're doing. And then tonight, 65 degrees, chance of showers and thunderstorms before 9 p.m., and then patchy fog. 5-mile-per-hour winds, 40% chance of rain, and 50% chance of rain up on Blood today. I'm not quite sure if I said that, so just making sure everybody knows. And then water's good, top off at Hawk Mountain Shelter and Slaughter Creek. Hawk Mountain will get you that 6.2 miles as you hike north until you get to Justice Creek where you can resupply. And then Slaughter Creek, if you top off there, you'll get up over Blood Mountain. And that way you don't have to go over Blood Mountain dry because that is your last chance for water. Get enough water going out of Neal Gap hiking north because Neal Gap to Hog Pen Gap is dry. You can resupply at Hog Pen Gap's water shelter. There is water there. Just follow the Blue Blaze all the way down to the end. Let's remember to watch out for snakes. They're across the trail, rocks, logs, stumps. Just take some extra time before you sit down somewhere, or if you're picking anything up off the ground. They do camouflage really well. Yesterday I picked a rider up at Springer Mountain and brought him back to Amicalola Falls, and we were probably about halfway down Forest Road 42, and stretching out across the road was a beautiful rattlesnake. He was out there in the sunshine, so they're really pretty. They glisten and shine, and you get to watch them contract and expand. Beautiful creatures as long as we practice the proper safety measures. So that was pretty awesome. That was his first snake that he got to see. He did see a bear as he was coming up the approach trail, and the bear did what bears normally do for the most part, saw him and ran. But he did get to see the bear, so he thought that was pretty cool. And then let's remember there's that nest of copperheads up on Cow Rock when you're hiking north out of Neal Gap. It's 5 miles north, so watch for those group of boulders. Stay off of them. Don't climb on them. Don't sit on them. There's plenty of space up there on Cow Rock where you can enjoy everything. And then continued road closure, US 441 Newfound Gap Road on the Tennessee side continues to be closed between Sugarlands and Newfound Gap, but you can access Newfound Gap from Cherokee, North Carolina. It's open all the way. All right, bears up in the Smokies. We have closed trails, the Kephart Prong Trail, and then the closed shelters are Kephart Prong Shelter, and then on the AT, the Icewater Springs Shelter is closed. Closed campsites are 23 and 96. And then the bear warnings are Charlie's Bunyan, Trillium Gap Trail, Ramsey Cascades Trail. Campsite warnings 83 and 84. Let's remember to leave no trace, whether we're in the Smokies or whatever trail or area we are recreating in. You don't have to be hiking, camping, out for the day, whatever it is you're doing. Let's remember, leave no trace. If we brought it in, let's bring it out. And then, of course, if you are camping or even out for the day, proper food storage and disposal of all items that need to be taken back out. Let's leave it a safe, clean place for animals and humans alike to enjoy. We're in their homes. Let's respect their homes. And then I'm going to turn it over to Donald now. We've got some other things we're going to talk about going on. Also today over in Hiawassee, Georgia, is the beginning of the Georgia Mountain State Fair, or the Georgia Mountain Fair. And that starts today in Hiawassee, and that goes on for 2 weeks. So think we're going to go over there and check it out at some point and eat some fried dough and some other fair foods that we look forward to munching on and enjoying. So once we get over there, we'll get some video and pictures. We don't know yet what day we're going over, but of course we'll keep everybody posted with our videos and what's going on over there. All right, Donald, I'm going to turn it over to you now. We can talk about some other stuff that we have going on out here and out and about and around us. All right, so we are going to start over here.
All right, thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
All right, sweet. And then I work my way this way, right?
They're here, yeah, and we keep flipping.
Okay. All right, sweet. All right, good morning, guys. It is 5:26 a.m., 8/15/2025. And so today we're going to start with a rescue in California. Tulare County, California, in the South Valley, first responders pulled off an extraordinary helicopter rescue, saving a missing hiker who had been trapped for days behind a dangerous waterfall. Ryan Wardell, 46, fell and became stranded in a remote area known as the Seven Teacups. On site, 4 members of the group decided it was too dangerous and beyond their skill level. Turning back, Wardell chose to continue alone. After a lot of back and forth talk, the other 4 went home, leaving him there alone. Wardell soon became trapped, and his friends called for help, but high water created a drowning hazard. He had been back there 3 days, and there was concern for drowning or exposure. Kemmerling said, a Tulare County Sheriff's Office helicopter crew risked it all to hoist him to safety. He's recovered and expected to be okay. Kemmerling noted 3 people drowned in that exact location last year, making Wardell's survival all the more remarkable. I was reading this yesterday, actually, and so I didn't realize they didn't talk about this right here. They must have got some more of the story. And so 4 members of the group decided it was too dangerous and beyond their skill level, but dude kept on trucking, man. I'm glad that people actually knew where he was and stuff, man, so they could find him. I also saw that another article said that the helicopter had to fly over and find him actually with a...
the infrareds?
Yeah, and so they just happened to see him down in there.
Good thing.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to a rescue in New Hampshire. So Bethel, New Hampshire, on Wednesday, August 13th at 3:13 p.m., New Hampshire Fish and Game were contacted by the Garmin Rescue Coordination Center in Montgomery, Texas. They advised that a Garmin inReach had been activated on Garfield Ridge near Garfield Pond. The Garmin owner, Darren White, 51, of Endicott, New York, activated his inReach SOS feature because he was suffering from exhaustion and dehydration. White had been attempting to complete a hike commonly referred to as the Pemi Loop with his adult son over a 4-day period. He activated his inReach on day 2 of the hike. Oh, you know what? I had someone that said they were just going to do this, the Pemi hike. And so Fish and Game conservation officers responded to the Gale River Trail with ATVs. White continued hiking down on his own and was met by COs at 5:41 p.m. They provided electrolytes and transported him out on the ATV, arriving back at their trucks at 6:26 p.m. They then relayed him back to his vehicle at Lincoln Woods Trailhead. Conservation officers remind precautions of hiking in the heat and have a plan for self-rescue and know your limits. You know, that Garmin inReach and how so we've been talking about the Garmin inReach for, a while now, along with the SOS on the iPhones and what the difference is. And so the Garmin inReach, they have like communication with the SARS rescue or the rescue team that's going to be working, the sheriffs, whoever it is, man, game wardens. But they communicate with them. And this is an example of it right here, man, So iPhone does not have that feature. And so it has the SOS feature, but they don't have like a dedicated team of people on the other side of that SOS, making phone calls and coordinating rescue teams so they can go ahead and work on rescuing the person that needs help.
And having a satellite also is a good idea, because last night when I was speaking to the hiker's wife about getting picked up at Three Forks, I had dropped some folks off yesterday morning really early at Amicalola Falls about 6 a.m. and they were making their way back to Byron Reese, but my wife contacted me last night about, it was close
5
to
o'clock, right?
close
6?
to 6 o'clock, because I told him I think Jordan would be
Oh
down
yeah,
about
Jordan.
7.
Jordan was at Meek's Pad.
Yeah, and her husband's friend had injured his knee, so they needed to get picked up at Three Forks. And we all know that Three Forks has absolutely no signal. So I asked her specifically, I said, your husband has satellite? And she says, yes, he's been communicating with me. So having the satellite, because past that, they would either get really lucky at Three Forks to get a signal, or they'd have to continue hiking forwards or, backwards because they have to grab a signal. So having the satellite made it a lot easier to get them out of there, because we were aware of their situation. So, like what you're saying about Garmin, definitely having that, but having the satellite for some communication out here when there's no signals is also good for cases like that.
Yeah, man, definitely, dude. Yeah, so cool, man. That's how they were able to communicate last night, huh? So.
Right. Oh yeah, this is it. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah. And so I also posted this, man. It is an article on the bear issue in Gatlinburg and people feeding the bears. Well, they're cracking down on it now and actually fining people. And so here's an article on it. Don't feed the bears, man. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Someone visiting the Great Smoky Mountains National Park was cited this week for feeding a mother bear and her cubs, prompting park officials to remind guests of safety reminders. So, in the past week, 3 incidents of visitors feeding black bears occurred in the park, including one at Maloney Point where a visitor fed a mother bear and her cubs. Park officials remind people that feeding bears is illegal for the safety of both the wild animals and the visitors. Additionally, those who feed a bear can face up to a $5,000 fine and 6 months in jail. Feeding bears poses significant dangers, leading to the bears seeking human food, losing their natural fear, and potentially becoming aggressive. Such behavior increases the risk of bears being hit by cars or euthanized. Visitors can help by not feeding the wildlife, period, man. Staying 50 yards away from the bears, securely storing food, leaving pets at home, staying alert, and reporting violations to park officials. It's out of control, guys, man.
I wonder how much they got cited for.
Who knows, man? But I'm glad that people are starting to take this seriously and starting to crack down on the problem that's going on out here, man. And I've been posting stuff online about the bears, man, recently, quite a bit, because it's been a real big issue here. And I don't think enough people actually know until it becomes such an issue, man, that it's starting to show itself in towns, man, like Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. I've seen videos of people vacationing there, and Airbnb people, man, they just leave their stuff outside on the tables. And they've got one had this one of the videos I was watching, which I posted, was of a bear in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge, whatever area, just same area. And they were having a wedding party, and it was called the Honey. The name had honey in it somewhere, but they had all their drinks outside on the table, and they had a bunch of steaks on the grill that was down on the driveway, kind of like it was quite a ways away from the house. There was no one guarding it. It was a bunch of women inside having their bachelorette party. Is that what it's called? Yeah, bachelorette party. And they saw the bear, and they were like screaming and kind of giggling about it. And it's like, that's super irresponsible, and that's what people are doing out here. And maybe they just don't know, or maybe they do. Like, some people are just feeding the bear, man. for whatever reasons, because they want to catch some pictures of it or get them on, post them on Facebook or show their friends and family and show it off or whatever they're doing, man. And they don't realize what they're doing to the, to the air, to the bear, and to the people that live there, the locals, man. And the same thing is happening down here that's happening up there, man. The bears are going down into Helen and just wandering through the town, man, which is super dangerous. I mean, people are drunk, they're having a good time down there. It's the same with up there, but down there, man, they're all partying and having a good time, stumbling down the streets. What if someone's stumbling down the street at 1 a.m. and these bears, a pack of them, are just rummaging through some garbage, and the dude or chick or the dude and chick or whatever, man, the buddies, man, roll around a corner and they startle those bears, man. It's just, we have to be more aware of what's going on out here. And like I said, I think people maybe don't even know how it is affecting the lingering effects that happen, the negative lingering effects that happen after they leave from, and they do stuff like that. They contribute to the problem by feeding the bears or leaving stuff out for them. And I'm gonna go. This isn't just bears. It's like all wildlife. It's like the dude that leaves a Twinkie next to him in the shelter because he doesn't want the mice running over him. So his or her solution is to leave a Twinkie over in the corner, man, so the mice are over there eating it. Well, that doesn't solve the issue. You know what I mean, man? That's just fueling it. And they're gonna take that. They're gonna make more little mice and feed those little mice, and there's gonna be millions of them. I mean, there already is, man. But that definitely doesn't help the issue, man.
And I'm glad you mentioned mice, because the guy that I brought back yesterday to Amicalola, he said that something chewed into his food bag.
Yeah.
So
That's too bad.
you're in a shelter, and like Donald's saying, mice.
So you're sleeping with his food?
Most likely.
Most
likely, obviously, his food bag got chewed into.
Right.
So
Maybe you put it in because actually, you know what? Actually, I should take that back. He was either sleeping with his food in the shelter, or he put it in one of those boxes, man, the bear vaults, because there's mice in there too.
Right.
So if people are using those, man, it's like when you are at a shelter, period, no matter really where you put your food, man, you're probably going to have an issue with it, man, because the mice, they're just going to get into it, or the birds, or the squirrels, or...
Yeah, and over the years, even hikers are telling me that, not in the shelter, they're just camped around the shelter, and they're in their tent.
Yeah, that's
and here
what I'm
comes the
saying,
mouse crawling up on their thing, and they just kind of flick it off the rain fly, and so
But they'll chew into your tent too, man.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just at places that are popular, man, and people leave stuff around and feed them, and so that goes back to the bears, man. They're finally, I'm starting to see places take action and start to penalize the people that are not following the rules, man. And it's, I don't know, man. But yeah, so
The rules are in place for a reason.
yeah, they
It's
are,
to
man.
keep all the animals safe, and it's to keep all the people safe. And if we follow those rules, then everyone can be safer and enjoy what's out here. And the animals are the ones that pay the ultimate price if there's something that happens. So we need to respect them when we're in their home.
Definitely, man. All right. And so next I wanted to read this. Hiker immobilized at 10,500 feet while attempting to reach popular backcountry hot spring. So Mountain Rescue Aspen responded to a call on August 12th related to an injured hiker who was trying to reach Conundrum Hot Springs. According to a report about the situation, the team received a report around 6:10 p.m. that a female hiker had sustained a leg injury and was unable to bear weight during her ascent to the popular hot spring destination. A total of 18 team members mobilized and found the woman about 5.7 miles up the 8.5-mile one-way trail at an elevation about 10,500 feet under the cover of darkness at about 8:20 p.m. The woman's injury was stabilized and she was ultimately carried back down the trail in a litter with the group reaching the trailhead by 11:25 p.m. The subject ended up opting out of ambulance transport. So 8:20, that was about 3 hours.
Yeah.
5.7 miles, that's a pretty good push right there. They were moving right along, man. The team urged those entering the backcountry to have means of two-way satellite communication, as cell phone connection may not be adequate to call for help should an injury occur. Being able to communicate effectively is crucial in improving the response times, with longer response times meaning more exposure in the backcountry and a lower chance of a positive outcome. Additionally, it's important to bring along the 10 essentials during a hike, as those items can make braving the elements when immobilized much easier. And so, if you are interested in supporting Colorado's volunteer-powered search and rescue operation, one way to do so is through the purchase of a Corsair card. It's cheap and only $5 a year. I don't know what it is, but I do know that there is hiker insurance out there for this type of stuff. So if anyone's interested in it, we did a post a little while back on hiker insurance. Okay, and so temperatures in Phoenix topped out around 111 degrees on Tuesday evening, NWS data says. And so I'm going to talk about these hikers that were rescued from South Mountain after becoming lost and overheated. Phoenix, 2 hikers were rescued Tuesday night after becoming overheated and lost on South Mountain. Phoenix Fire Department officials say technical teams were called in around 8 p.m. for reports of 2 men needing assistance from after hours on a mountain. Officials say the hikers started around 4 p.m. but became ill and overheated and lost. Crews located the hikers about a mile from the trailhead, and both were rescued via helicopter. Both patients were taken to the hospital in stable conditions. The temps reached 111 degrees, man, in Phoenix around 4:40 p.m. according to the National Service data. An extreme heat warning is in effect through Wednesday, meaning multiple valley trails are restricted from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., including trails on South Mountain. They're lucky, man.
Mm-hmm. Sure are.
Mm-hmm. And so I want to Mary and I will be doing a segment possibly tomorrow, the next day, be expecting the next few days. We're going to be doing something on cairns. And so I'm going to read an article here about a dude, and he made a video, I guess. I haven't watched the video, but he made an article about how it affects the environment. We're going to do a segment on a video on if it does affect the environment, or if it's just people bitching. We'll see, man. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna actually do some studying, man, and find out what exactly is going on with these rock piles, man, these rock markers that people get angry over. And so stone stacks litter pristine trails, a grumpy hiker is kicking back. Rock piles have proliferated on some trails in recent years, irking conservationalist Stuart Cox has been applying his boot to the issue. He's got a long beard, longer than mine.
Looks like every hiker out here.
Right, dude? He does. He's got the shades,
Yep.
the hat, but he's really angry inside. Stuart Cox, a British hiker, is on a mission to raise awareness about the damage that stone stacks known as cairns cause on the Mam Tor hiking trail in England's Peak District. Towers of rocks stacked neatly by hikers filled the grassy ridges of the ancient hiking trail in England's Peak District. Stuart Cox, grumbling, went around and kicked them down. Mr. Cox, who lives near the Mam Tor hiking trail some 20 miles southeast of Manchester, is not sowing destruction for the sake of it. He wants the hikers who visit one of England's most scenic trails to stop stacking rocks there, a practice that he and other conservationists argue is harmful for the environment. And I want to know why. If it is, or isn't. He found an inventive way to share his message. Mr. Cox, 57, in May prompted a vigorous debate by posting a video of himself grumpily kicking down a series of rock stacks. The stones had been taken from an ancient wall, he railed, not only disrupting the area's habitat, but degrading a centuries-old structure. I agree with that, actually, so that's bullshit, man. It's almost like those cats up there cutting down that tree. I forget what tree it is, but it's in this gap and it's on this stone wall. It was in Robin Hood, man. And so the Prince of Thieves with, what's his name? Kevin Costner, when he fights the King's Men when he first arrives back into England. But that tree, they cut it down, man. And those cats went to jail, actually, for like 4 years, I think, man. They got some time for that shit. But I agree with this dude right here, man. They're taking from ancient walls, and that's bullshit, man. Okay, now stone stacks, also known as cairns, have long been used to mark burial sites or as navigation aids on remote hiking trails. Park authorities in many places maintain them to help hikers. But authorities and wilderness lovers like Mr. Cox, who follow ethical rules for hiking, have a message for visitors. Leave those damn rocks alone. New stone stacks piled up by hikers and often snapped for social media have become a worrying sight for researchers who say they damage the environment around the trails the world over. Stone stacks have been spotted everywhere from trails to Yosemite to the beaches of Tenerife. When you move the rocks, you are disturbing the habitat of multiple species, said Ricardo Rocha, an associate professor of the conservation science at University of Oxford, who listed snails, insects, lizards, and plants among species that rely on rocks. That was especially important, like places Spain's Canary Islands, Dr. Rocha said, where some reptiles have become endangered. Dr. Rocha believes the phenomenon has gained momentum from social media, pointing to the contagious appeal of the photo-friendly stacks. Humans have big enough of a mark at a global level in nature, Dr. Rocha said. We don't need to leave additional unnecessary ones. Mr. Cox, who calls himself the Peak District Viking on social media, I had a feeling, man. You know what, dude? I don't mean to stop, man, but for some reason, I had a feeling this dude was going to call himself something to do with the Viking. The first thing that popped into my head was Hiking Viking, because they all look the same, man. They're named the Hiking Viking, you know what I mean, man? They get the sunglasses, like the Lane Staley dark black wrap around the head sunglasses, and the long beard, man. So anyways, Mr. Cox, who calls himself the Peak District Viking on social media, has always found solace in nature. He chose the name because he has some Viking ancestry and thought it suited his orange beard. He began sharing photos and videos from his walks on social media during COVID lockdowns, aware that many people did not have his access to sweeping landscapes. But he has been peeved by the rock stacks, which he said had become an epidemic. I don't think people realize the damage they cause when they build these things, Mr. Cox said. During one of his visits, he noticed that somebody had removed large flagstones from a key footpath to act as a base for stacks, which he said would speed the path's erosion. The National Trust, a non-profit which manages swaths of British countryside, including Mamtor, has asked visitors to stop building stacks. They're arguing that it damages a historically significant site that includes a wall dating to the 1570s. Mr. Cox started posting to help get the message out. I put a small video up just to moan about it, like most middle-aged men, he said. Encouraged by his audience, he followed up with more lively video, including some extra choice words of himself destroying the piles to explain why they were detrimental to the environment. His approach triggered strong reactions, he said. Many viewers had the same thought. Who is this idiot? Why is he knocking stones over? What's his problem? Some commenters were defensive and said he shouldn't police their actions, but he was gratified by others who said had learned something for their next foray into the wilderness. When he returned to Mamtor this month, he found an unpleasant sight. The hundreds of stones that typically littered the grass on the hill and been put back near the wall. He is hopeful that his social media campaign had something to do with it. You don't need to improve the beauty of nature, he said. It's an interesting article. And I've seen a lot of people talking about cairns. And, you know, I guess if you're going to build one, man, don't steal it from, the path, meaning like out here. The trail maintenance people have literally gone in and built rock walls for a reason to steer the water in a certain direction so, less erosion on the trail, man. And, or they build stairways or, whatever they're doing out there. If you're going to take from that or take from a structure that's been there since 1570, I mean, if you're going to make one, don't steal it from something, man. Make sure the place has a bunch of rock near there. And I'm not saying whether to do it or not. I'm just saying if you're going to do it, don't destroy something to make something like that. Mm-hmm. Also, they're used for markers. And so you could be steering someone away from the trail. Or not only that, if you're knocking them down, what if someone made that marker to lead them back? I don't know. These were pretty big ones from what it looked like. Yeah, those were big, man. They were probably really unnecessary, but
I see
anyway.
Sometimes, I'm sorry, I
No,
see
what?
them sometimes when I'm driving around really in unnecessary places, like just on roadsides where there's no trailhead or anything like that. Going over Hurricane Creek up there heading towards Mooney Gap, somebody always has a stack of them, the little creek, and they always have a stack of them right there on the water, so obviously there's nothing there other than the creek, so I think people like to just build them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna do the gathering of some information and I guess pros, cons, why to do it, why not to do it, and the things that it may affect out here that we're not even aware of and that others aren't aware of also, so that we can all be more educated on them.
Sweet. All right, and so gonna do one more thing here, man. This is up in Maine, where I'm from, Scurogger Falls, man. I've been there, so I just wanted to. I saw this online, and so Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, Maine game wardens lead rescue of man who fell off a ledge at Scurogger Falls. It was about 30 to 35 feet, I guess. So Wednesday afternoon, August 13th at approximately 1:30 p.m., game wardens responded to Grafton Township after a 21-year-old fell approximately 25 to 30 feet from a ledge in the area of Scurogger Falls waterfall. The man landed in the water and sustained serious injuries in the fall. Maine game wardens, members of Mahoosic Mountain Search and Rescue Team, Oxford County Sheriff's Office, Bethel Fire and Rescue, New Reed Fire Department, Maine DOT, and Life Flight of Maine also responded to the scene, assist in the technical rescue. A lot of people, man. Due to the challenging terrain in the gorge, rescuers carried the man through the water to a point approximately 300 feet downstream in order to safely extricate him, where he was then transported to Maine Health, Maine Medical Center by Lifelight helicopter. We are thinking of this man and wishing him a strong recovery. This post will be updated if any new information becomes available.
That's quite a fall.
Definitely is. Is that Maine Health, Maine Medical Center? I think that's Portland. They may have changed their name. I don't know. I've been there for so long. All right. And so I just wanted to say one more thing, that they are still looking for the Minnesota dude over in Wyoming. They have not found him. I hope they do.
What I saw, I guess they're increasing their efforts even more in the search for him, really, pulling out all stops to see if they can find him. Hopefully it has a good outcome, and we hope for the best.
And then we have Boulder, Colorado. Officials in Colorado say they believe they've found the body of the Omaha man that was missing. in the Rocky Mountain National Park since Monday. Blake Kikehafer, 23, reported missing to park rangers. Last seen on Thursday, August 7th at 5:20 p.m. So the Larimer County Coroner's Office is working to positively confirm the identity of the body using DNA once the identification is properly made. And the next of kin is aware, our office will update the press release to reflect the official identity along with the cause and manner of death. So, super sad, man. Yeah, it's a sad outcome. All right, guys. We will be around today. We've got some shuttles going on, and then Mary and I will be here. We've got stuff to do. Working. Are you still working on the AWOL? Yeah, we're still working on
I've
that.
sent in some info, but I'm still working on it.
Mary's a little busy bee on that.
I am. I'm going to put away some blueberries today, too.
Oh, blueberries. And we got to go, and I believe today is the last day of the blueberry picking, right?
Today or this weekend, you have to call, make sure, and see what's going on.
All right, and for any locals, man, if you're looking for some sales on the meat department at Ingles here in Blairsville has a sale on filet mignon this week. It's like $16 a pound, but you have to buy the slugs. It's not pre-sliced, but you can have them slice it up for you or do it yourself. Make yourself a little 1/2 or 1-inch slugs.
It's definitely worth purchasing at that price.
It is. It's a good deal, man. And so, anyways, anyone looking for that type of stuff, man, Ingles has some sales. Anyways, we're good here today, man. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good.
All right, sweet guys. Have a great day. One love, peace.